Hi guys, I've been a little bit out of the loop with Battlescribe, and there was a big debate last year about people saying that the person that works on this app doesn't update it anymore, so don't pay for it. Because maybe if everybody didn't pay for it, it would get updated. But there is a separate team that does the data, and the data is now in for 10th edition. However, if you pay for the app, none of the money goes to the team that makes the data. So I think for now, use Battlescribe if you want. It's updated. I'm going to be building my next 10th edition army list right now in Battlescribe. The date has been updated as of the 14th, so we have all the new points costs and everything in there. I'm going to be building a Blood Angels list that's hopefully 50% armor and 50% infantry in an effort to come up with my next tournament list. I'm playing Death Guard with this list tomorrow. This video might air actually after the Death Guard game, but regardless, here's the list that I'm coming up with. I'll tell you the reasons that I'm picking things, and hopefully maybe you'll get some inspiration for your next Blood Angels list, especially if you're struggling to win games, because I know some people are. So this is exactly why I'm making the video. Alright, let's dive in. Okay, so when you get into Battlescribe, you'll see something like this. If you've not added the data, you would basically click here, you would scroll the way down, you would add the 10th edition data, and you would update it. So I have it added, so now I can click New, and I will call this 10th edition, I guess, 10th Ed BA, Blood Angels, and this is going to be a 2,000 point list. And we need to add a force. And I'm going to be 100% Blood Angel, so I'm adding... Ooh, what type of detachment am I adding? I guess I'm adding a Arcs of Omen detachment. Weird. I mean, do I just say no detachment now? I'm actually not sure. Let me add it as no detachment. So we're just building Blood Angels, and it's... I like to click up here, because if you do this stuff, then it... I was going to say... I guess ignore all this shit. Just ignore it. Just add it as a default detachment, I guess. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say these aren't the right points costs. Astrath is not 140 points. Is something screwed up? We restart Battlescribe. I did just update the new data. Let's try a new list. Ah, you have to drop it down to 10th edition. There we go. Alright, so 2,000 point list. And it's Blood Angels, Space Marine, Imperium, Blood Angels. And I guess it's an army roster that we add now. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. We're going to play a 2,000 point battle, and we're going to do the Gladiatus Task Force. So I may as well start with the armor, because I know what armor I think I'm going to take, and I know which armor I like. I really like Vindicator tanks. I think they're really, really strong. I think they're really all-round, and they've gone down in points. So I'm going to take 2 Vindicators. It's kind of going to be the core of the list. I think I'm also going to continue to run a Repulsor, and I think I'm going to just take a Repulsor with the Twin Las Cannon and the Las Talon. It obviously has a defensive array, and it's a capacity transport of 12. So all 3 of these armor units are toughness 10 plus, which I think is nice. Toughness 11 on the Vindicator, toughness 12 on the Repulsor. You could go for a Land Raider. I mean, there's an argument here to be said that a Land Raider would actually be good now that they've dropped down in points. We'll maybe come back, we'll see. I have Land Raiders as well, but for now, 2 Vindicators and the Repulsor. I am also, I think, going to add the Librarian Dreadnought, because I want to be teleporting some units around, and I want to be doing some shenanigans with the Librarian Dreadnought. I guess I'll give him a Meltagun. I think I added 2 of them by accident. Okay, so the other armor I was typically running before was I was running a couple of Predator tanks. I was running the Gladiator Lancer, which I think I might still run the Gladiator Lancer. And I was also running 2 Predators, a Gladiator Lancer, and there's one more tank that I can't think right now. It was 7 tanks. It was double Vindicator, Lancer, Repulsor, that's 4, 2 Predators, that's 6, and something. God damn it. I've only played that list like 6 times, because I actually won 6 games in a row. Oh, the Ballistus Dreadnought. Yeah, why not? I think the Ballistus Dreadnought is not bad at 150 points. So we get 2 Dreadnoughts, 3 tanks. That's 900 points. That's probably enough armor. I think that's probably enough armor. There could be an argument here that you could still fit in the Gladiator Lancer, but we'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in the Lancer. The Lancers haven't been as good for me as the Vindicators, honestly. So where I want to go from then is we want to talk about probably aggressors with a bolter discipline biologist, because a lot of people are talking about that, and I may as well get it into the game for fun, for a test. The maths on the aggressors seem pretty interesting, especially if you use Storm of Fire, and we're going to add our bolter discipline biologist, apothecary biologist. He's only 55 points, 70 points once you give him bolter discipline, and I was going to say you could make him the warlord, but I'm not going to. Okay, so the aggressors, they're going to average like 36 shots with the bolter discipline biologists, and the fact that we can use Devastator Doctrine to get bursts on 5 and 6s, and we can hit an Oath of Moment target. You can do like 20 plus auto wounds with these guys. There is an argument to be said that we could attach a Gravis Captain in here as well, because that gives a bunch more power fists. How many attacks does because aggressors have twin link power fists anyway, right? And aggressors have 3 attacks, so you would get 16 attacks out of the squad. 16 attacks out of the squad is probably okay, and the biologist is granting lethal hits to both shooting and melee. Okay, well, let's leave that for now, right? So that's 280 points. What other units did I have? I had the Chaplain with a jump pack. Wherever he is. Chaplain with the jump pack. For 85 points. And I had him attached to 5 Death Company with jump packs. I think 5 Death Company with jump packs is still pretty good. I was going to say, apparently Battlescribe doesn't have the right weapon options for these guys. The way that you would want to run the Death Company with jump packs, I believe it. Maybe I can add a second. No, I guess Battlescribe, it's not infallible, and it's definitely not done. So these guys are all going to have power fists and infernal pistols. So that's going to be 5 guys, all power fists and infernal pistols. That gives us 390 points. What's next? We could get some battle line in here. We could get incursors in here. Incursors might be interesting. A Thunderstrike could actually be really interesting as well. That would push us over the proverbial ticker, I guess, in terms of like the proverbial ticker in terms of like what I'm trying to say, 1,000 points of armor. That's what that would push us over. But okay, I think I need to put something inside my repulsor. I've been having a lot of fun with Centurions, and Centurions have got better. I would give one of them the assault launchers, probably the Sergeant. That just gives me the ability to have the grenade skeward. And then I'll have bolters and the twin flamer and everybody else. You could take the twin meltagun. I think the meltagun would be fine. It's annoying that neither of these weapons have assault anymore, because I like to use assault doctrine with the Centurions when they come out of the repulsor, but that's not an option. So twin meltagun, twin flamer. I think Centurions don't do very well at killing trash mobs anymore, because they get sustained hits too. Against monsters, vehicles, and fortifications. Yeah, but they don't really have anything to clear trash mobs, so they can get bogged down by stuff like Termagants or something. So I think bolters and flamers are fine. I can understand going the meltas, but that's fine as well. And the cool thing about putting Centurions in a repulsor is there's 3 spaces left. You could argue the same with the Land Raider. So if we were going to do that, maybe the thing to do would be to just take the 3 Blade Guard that we've been running up until now, because Blade Guard are useful in terms of they can perform some actions, they can do some other little things. I'm struggling to see them. Here we go. So we get 3 Blade Guard plus 3 Centurions in the repulsor. We have 5 Death Company with a Chaplain. We have 6 aggressors with a biologist. We have the Ballistus, we have the Librarian Dreadnought for teleport, we got the Repulsor, we got 2 Vindicators, and we got 370 points left. So this is where it starts getting interesting, and this is where I guess I start to add some units that I've typically not played, because at this point, this list, I had a couple of Predator tanks in there, and I actually have nothing against the Predator tanks. I think the Predator tanks have performed pretty well for me, but I think that I'm going to try and add a little bit more infantry to just vary the list. One of the options definitely would be to take like another 5 Death Company with Lamartes, because we did some maths on Lamartes this weekend with his points drop, and obviously with the lethal hits coming out for his ability in melee. I haven't run Lamartes much, but Lamartes, I think, wherever he may be, he's up here in the Blood Angel section. Come on, Lamartes, load. His lethal hits are melee weapons. Yes, I thought so. So he gives the Death Company a bit more punch, I guess, when they get into melee, and he gives them -1 damage, which, if there's a lot of 2 damage in the meta, really does improve their survivability. Alright, with 370 points left, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my Void's Men-at-Arms. They're my 5-man allied units that basically have 5 guys with las cannons and like a close combat weapon. So they're on 25mm bases, they're very small, they're gonna be able to fit into little nooks and crannies. I think I'm gonna add the Gravis Captain to the Aggressor squad, because the Aggressors can be attached by both the Gravis Captain and the Biologist. I haven't tried this, I don't know if it's going to be very good. The Gravis Captain doesn't bring very much firepower, but what he will do is let me get one... it'll let me get one free strat every turn. So I'm going to basically either play Red Rampage, because that's a battle tactic, or I guess Honor the Chapter from Gladius, or Storm of Fire to give myself additional AP when those aggressors fire for free. So I'm going to be doing that every turn. So at that point, I thought I would also add a squad of Incursors. I've been thinking about the Incursors for a little while, like because I feel like the +1 to hit in shooting could potentially help the Incursors quite a lot. Or sorry, could help the rest of your army quite a lot. And Incursors do have a scout move. It's one more unit that can provide like strength on an objective, and also they could be teleported. If I'm going to do this Librarian Dreadnought to teleport, I need units that can be teleported around. So we add the Haywire Mine for free, we get that one squad of Incursors. Obviously the Haywire Mine can now be used offensively, which is pretty cool. It used to only be able to be used defensively, but basically select one enemy within 3 inches. On a 2-up, they take D3 mortal wounds, or 2d3 mortal wounds if it's a vehicle. So the Incursors can basically do both. That leaves us 155 points, which is conveniently almost the cost of a Death Company without a chaplain. And it's a tough one, because I could not have the Gravis Captain. 100% could not have him. And with one, and I could almost fit Lamartes and 5 more Death Company. And I did kind of want to add 5 more Death Company. That was the thing I really did want to add to this list. So the only other option, I guess, would be to like add 5 Vanguard Veterans, which would be 105 points with jump packs, because they're down quite a bit to 105 points with jump packs. I guess probably I might come back and change this. I want to try the Captain and use this free strat to try and get the most out of the Aggressors. I guess if I get a lot out of the Aggressors, this video is over. The Aggressors are really good. We can move on with them. There is also something to be said about like the Ballistus Dreadnought. You know, like with 145 points left, I could literally add 5 Death Company with Power Fists, and then switch out the Ballistus Dreadnought for like a Brutalis Dreadnought maybe, or even I could get that Gladiator Lancer back in there. There's a few options for this. So I'm going to have to think for a couple of minutes on this last 145 points and see if there's something I can come up with. I did think about Assault Intercessors. I did also think about Heavy Intercessors to hold the backfield. I guess if I put heavy intercessors in the backfield, I could possibly drop the Voidsman at arms. I obviously can't teleport the Voidsman at arms around. And if I drop the Voidsman at arms, then I would have 205 points, which is like a squad of heavy intercessors and a squad of like infiltrators. Again, 2 units that could be teleported around. Yes, I would lose my Voidsman, but maybe that isn't a problem. Okay, as reluctant as I am to lose Voidsmen, because I think they are a really good scoring unit, and I've scored, and I've been running them for so long, I've had so many good success stories with them. I'm going to add some battle line to my army, because I don't really have any, and I've been painting those heavy intercessors. So let's add those heavy intercessors, and let's have one with a heavy bolt. One with a heavy bolter, because I can do that, I guess. Perfect. So 5 heavy intercessors, one with a heavy bolter, leaving 100 points exactly. I feel like maybe the trick here would be a 100-point unit is the infiltrators. So that gives me infiltrators to screen, and I haven't really had much screening in the games that I've played so far. So I'd have screening, I'd have forward deployment, I have a tough, durable unit that can sit on a home field. I've got a bunch of units that can be teleported around for scoring, in cursors, heavy intercessors. I could also just go intercessors and then sticky my backfield objective with intercessors, which, do you know what? I think I'm gonna try this. So I'm not gonna have the infiltrators. I'm a little loath to lose them, but I'll have like a power fist sergeant. I guess everyone will have a bolt rifle. That's fine. And then what we'll do is our Gravis Captain, because I think the Gravis unit should get into melee at some point, we'll give them the Honor Vehement, so that basically our Gravis Captain has a Strength 10 Power Fist, and he gets 2 extra attacks. He already has 5 attacks base. I think I've got the wrong loadout selected here. Hold on. Bort Storm Gauntlet, Power Fist, and Relic. This is the one I want, right? And we'll give him the Relic Blade. Yeah, so the Gravis Captain, he's got a bit of a weird profile in that he's got 6 attacks with his Power Fist, which would be buffed up to 7 attacks with his Power Fist at Strength 10 if we're in Assault Doctrine. Then he would get 2 attacks with the Strength 5 Relic Blade. Yeah, I mean, you could pay 10 points and give him a 2-up save and a 5-up feel no pain. That is good, and the Gravis Captain does take half damage. But I figure if I've lost all the Gravis models, then I'm probably going to be losing the Gravis Captain as well. So I think that's what we're going to go with. This is a revised list where we've got 900 points of vehicles. We've gone much, much heavier into infantry. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. But, hey, I've got about 2 months till I go to my next tournament, so let's get into this. Let me take this tomorrow against Death Guard. Obviously, you can watch the game live. This video is probably coming out after it, and then we'll make some tweaks and see where we can get to. I know that the list that I was playing with all tanks did win 6 games in a row pre-balanced data slate, but I mean, some things have changed, and I think infantry now deserve a second chance. I really do. So thanks ever so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Do you like this list? What would you change? Is there anything that was glaringly obvious that you think would be better? I'd love to hear about it. I just build these lists sometimes in a video because I think it helps inform some people. If you're building better lists, by all means share them with me. We do review community lists every Sunday on the Army List Show. You guys know that by now. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.